Hi guys, how are you doing? Today I really want to talk about how you can improve your speaking, and especially if you're an introvert. I know it's hard sometimes to just go out of your comfort zone and start talking, so I'm gonna give you 3 tips to start talking more. If you're ready, let's get started. So my tip number one might sound a little weird. Maybe if you're a polyglot, you've heard about it or you've done it yourself. And the first tip is really to talk to yourself. You might feel weird at first, but I really do use this in all the languages I'm learning. I think it helps a lot. I just compare it to whenever you're having a presentation at school or university or at your job. You would not just go there and do the presentation, right? You would just prepare for it. So whenever, for instance, I have, like I recently had an interview with Oscar from Let's Svenska med Oscar, and what I thought is, well, what could he ask me? And then I was, practicing on my own, talking to myself and just practicing, and it does help a lot. Or if you would do the same if you're having a job interview, you would think, well, what could they ask me? And then you just prepare it and talk to yourself. So you can do the same with language learning. You can imagine that you're in certain situations that you will be in. For instance, if you're gonna travel to a certain country, and you can be like, okay, what kind of situations I'm gonna be in, and just play as though you were there. Pretend you were there, and just have this conversation just on your own. I think this is really great if you're an introvert because you're just talking to yourself. No one's listening, no one's paying attention to you making mistakes. So you're really in your comfort zone, but you're really already practicing, and this makes you prepared for real life situations. So I really can recommend that. The tip number 2 is taking some lessons. I've done it with all the languages I've learned, I would say, or almost all. For instance, I learned German in the EOE in Barcelona. Right now I'm learning Russian online, and also Swedish. And I think it's great to take lessons because when you're talking to someone, that person will correct you. And especially if it's like a qualified teacher, this will be better. Because if you're just talking to yourself, if this is the only method you're using, you might make mistakes that no one's correcting. That might be your concern. So I would actually use both, so you can talk to yourself and you can take lessons. And if you want to take lessons in English, French, German, or Spanish, I can highly recommend Lingoda. And not just because it's a great language school with, very well prepared teachers, not just some random people teaching, but really qualified teachers, but also because they have a very interesting concept, which is called the sprint or the super sprint. So it just rewards you for being consistent, basically, which will also help you speak better. So say you want to improve your French in 2 months, and the best way would, of course, be to be taking a lesson a day, right? But you would need some extra motivation to do that, and that's what they do with their super sprint. If you take the super sprint, you will be having 1 lesson a day, and if you take all the lessons, you get all your money back, which is pretty crazy. But I also understand, so who has 1 hour a day for 30 or 60 days, right? It's crazy. So they also have the sprint, which is 15 lessons in a month, and you get 50% back. So I think this is a good way to motivate yourself. Be like, hey, what would happen if I would take 30 lessons in 30 days? Like, my French would really skyrocket, right? Or my German or whatever. And if you're like a couch polyglot like I am, you want to, learn from your couch and just be super flexible. So, okay, I feel like having a lesson tomorrow. Let's see what kind of courses are available at the time that suits me, right? And for these super introverts among you, these are mostly, okay, there are group classes, which is what I tried. I really like being around different people, so for me it was totally fine. But they also have the option of just one-to-one classes. So you can book either group classes or individual classes. So what I would really tell you is, if you want to take this language you're learning to the next level, just go ahead and book a class in Lingoda. I also will include a link down below where you get a discount. Only if you use my link, you will get a discount, so go check it out. And the only thing I would say that I don't like right now from Lingoda is that they don't have either Swedish or Russian. But if they had, I would be totally taking this, because I also want to take my Swedish and my Russian to the next level. And I feel like if I had such motivation, like such sprints or something, I would be like, yeah, I want my money back, you know? So that is indeed a motivation. And just seeing, wow, it's been 2 months and look where I was and look where I am now. That's pretty cool. But yeah, they don't have it right now in Swedish or Russian. Maybe they will in the future, who knows, but that would be pretty cool. So yeah, those were my 2 tips. So talk to yourself and talk to a teacher. I think combining those is great. You can also prepare yourself before the class. You know, you in Lingoda, you see what you're gonna talk about, and you can mentally prepare yourself and think of some things you want to say, and then just go to class. It doesn't have to be Lingoda. It can be, you know, whatever. There are other platforms, or there are other, you know, options. I used to take German classes at school, but really like at a language school, physical language school. But to be honest, that was okay by then, but right now it wouldn't adapt to my life. Like, I prefer taking classes online. I am a couch polyglot after all, so I really don't want to leave my couch. So yeah, so those are the things I wanted to say, the 2 tips. And the 3rd tip is something which is somehow in the middle. It's getting a tandem. The good thing about a tandem is that it's for free. The bad thing about it is that it's normally a person who's not a teacher. So for instance, I have a tandem for Italian, and we just talk, and it's nice because he talks in Spanish, we talk in Spanish for 30 minutes, and then we switch to Italian. And the only thing is that sometimes I'm just, well, why is this, or like, why is this used that way? And he doesn't know, right? But I think it's great if you're using the 3 methods, because having a tandem is like having a friend in the language you're learning, and you learn things which you won't learn in class. And I think when you have a friend with whom you can talk to, you feel more confident, and you're like at ease, and you know, you're not being judged or something. So I think really combining the 3 is the best way to go if you want to really skyrocket your level. And yeah, but sometimes you just want to speak a little. So it doesn't have to always be, oh my God, I'm gonna get like super good. But sometimes you do need it. Like, I had this when I was at the company I'm actually still working at, and they said, hey Laura, in a month you'll be starting working in French. And my French was super rusty, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to really push it for a month, and then I'll be a lot better. And it did help. So sometimes you do have such situations in life where you're like, I really need to push it because I have a job interview, because I'm moving to this city or country, and things like that. So it really depends on your life situation, but I would really recommend using all these tips. I use them all the time. I am talking to myself in Swedish when I'm listening to the podcasts, or things like that, or I'm taking classes for Russian and Swedish, and I have a tandem for Italian. So I do use them all, and I would like to know what you think about it, and also, like, from your perspective, what are your best tips to start talking more? Yeah, I would love to see that in the comment section. If you like this video, just leave a thumbs up. You can leave a comment, and you can also subscribe. And yeah, I really want to say thank you to my patrons who are always there to support me. Thank you guys. I'm soon going to launch something new. Well, soon, maybe in 2 months. I don't know yet. I'm working on something on my Catalan podcast. I think I've talked about it before. If you have tips regarding this, just go ahead and leave them in the comment section. And I really hope that this helps. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.